Right, guys, let's do your stock picks now. Devin, let's start with you. What are you hanging your money on at the moment? What's your stock pick?
Ray, mine's a kind of a South African Inc. play, more on the infrastructure side. It's Reunert, also trading on a very undemanding multiple of about 10 times earnings, over 6% div yield. And this is a group that's focused on kind of industrial and technology, but it's got some very interesting divisions in defense and renewable that's piqued our interest. They've got a strong balance sheet. They're actually building a really strong defense order book. And they've been the beneficiary of what we'd call two structural trends. One, the global transition to renewable energy, which, despite what Trump says, is still ongoing. Sure. And also the rising defense spending, which we know, particularly out of Europe, is very important. And then the expected acceleration in the SA infrastructure project implementation, particularly with Eskom and the transmission build-out, that's going to be massive. And I think kind of just the cherry on the top for us is they've got a new CEO. He comes out of Ethos Private Equity, and I think that could really bring quite an interesting portfolio, bring a lot more focus and a lot more kind of implementation boost to the group. So one we like for now.
That's a big order book there, a very big order book, which is quite something. All right, Gary, moment of truth. What's your stock pick?
Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit boring, although I do like the idea of getting exposure to European defense stocks. So, like Reunert as well is particularly interesting because of its kind of links to German military now trying to replace Elon Musk's business, at least, Starlink. But today I'm going to be boring. I'm going to go with Alphabet. It's typically it's kind of one of the big blue chip players of the global economy at this stage, and really a business that kind of suffered almost because it was such a monopoly in search and constantly under threat of the antitrust regulators. And one of the best possible things that happened to the business is the rise of OpenAI and the idea that potentially their blue link search business could be under threat because it gave them a lot more scope to expand. And I mean, we can see kind of the technology they have in terms of DeepSeek is just, at least DeepMind is just next level. They are arguably one of the top AI players. They're also not particularly expensive if you look at it. So I mean, we're talking about kind of a historic PE of 23. They've got an incredible computer science layer out of which all their different businesses build. And we kind of think of them as like an AI and search business. But remember, we've got YouTube in there. YouTube is bigger than Netflix. It's one of the largest it is the largest streaming service platform on the planet. And all the content is generated by users. What a pleasure. You don't have to pay for that big content library either. On top of that, they've got Waymo moving to self-driving. It's just an absolutely unique business and strangely not very expensive. So at this stage, even with the big run-up that we've seen in the share price over 2025, I would still be a buyer.
Well, looking at the JSE today, nothing is boring, so Alphabet it is. Thank you so much to both of you. That's all for Stock Watch today. Thanks to our guests, Gary Booysen from Rand Swiss and also Devin Shutte from the Reunert Group. Up next, The Close.